After 25 years of working in finance, I've known a lot of high achieving financial people who are high earners and own amazing businesses. And the top reasons why I've seen them fail in retirement, number one is health. You may have just sold your company for $10 million. You have all the money in the world. You got the big house, the fast cars, everything that you've ever wanted. And now you go home and it's a day off. And that day off continues indefinitely, where you're just laying on the couch watching TV. You're bored out of your mind. You have nothing to do. And that's tends to be one of the biggest fears of why people don't retire, especially people who are highly successful. I was just at a dinner party last weekend, and everybody there was probably worth $5 to $10 million. They had all retired once, and all of them were back working a new company they started, a new job, or even a part-time job, just because they got bored. And the health reason I bring up is because I just read a really disturbing statistic from the CDC saying that 78% of men over 50 are overweight. That means a BMI over 25, and 45% are morbidly obese. And I've seen that with a lot of these people that retire. They put off their health, they focused all their energy on their amazing business, and were highly successful. They got all the positive feedback in the world, but now you're super heavy. You've got heart problems. You might have a stroke. How many years of enjoyment are you going to get out of life? That's one thing that, because they don't have the background, they've neglected it. Maybe they haven't played sports since they were in high school. Now you're overweight and it's much harder to get back in shape. And instead of making that the primary focus, they're sitting on the couch and just being lazy. The more lazy you are, the more you're going to have problems walking around and doing fun things. That ends up being where you just made this huge fortune and you don't get to enjoy it. You end up having medical problems, and then you end up dead a few years later, and you've missed out greatly. Now, if you took the same effort that you took building your business and you put that into reviving your health, losing weight, going to see a doctor, like when was the last time you actually went and got a colonoscopy or got a checkup from the doctor, got your blood work done? You might end up having high cholesterol and all kinds of problems. And if you start focusing on your health, what you're eating, what you're putting in your body, that's about 80% of it. And then the other 25% is how active are you? Are you getting out and walking? Are you doing things that are going to make you more healthy? And that's going to extend your life. It's going to give you energy. Now with things like peptides and functional medicine, they can do a lot with your hormones, things like that, to make your body bounce back. So you don't have to just give up and go, oh, I'm just old. This is just how it's going to be. You can reverse a lot of this stuff. You just need a plan, and you need to put some effort into it. The number two thing to worry about is your family. You know, you've just spent the past 25 years building a business, becoming a high-end executive, making a ton of money, and you were there to support them financially. But what kind of relationship now do you have with your wife or your spouse? And what do your children think of you? What kind of legacy are you leaving behind with them? Are you the guy that just worked all the time and then dropped dead? And, they'll miss your money, but they don't really have that strong of a relationship with you. Also, the biggest thing that I've seen is another really disturbing statistic is that people over 50 since 1990, they are twice as likely to get divorced as they were back in 1990. And if you're at 65, you're 3 times as likely to get divorced. And a big reason for that is the kids have left the house, and now you're with your spouse every day, and you drive them nuts. You try to run them like they're one of your employees. You're used to just problem solving all day, so you want to fix your spouse, and you piss them off, and then they're done with you. And you have enough money, they're going to take half of it and go live their own life without you. And culturally, even, it's kind of more acceptable now for people to get divorced. And if you want to avoid that and losing half your fortune, then that's another thing that should be on your plan, is focusing on family. And that in itself is a full-time job. Reestablishing relationships with people, sitting down with your spouse and finding out, what's our plan for retirement? What does retirement look like for you? I'm amazed at how many people have never had that discussion with their spouse. I was just at a dinner party last weekend, and a lot of the people were saying, yeah, he retired, and then both of us would just sit on the couch in our pajamas and watch TV all day, and then we would change into fresh pajamas at the end of the day and go to bed, kind of do the same thing after that. And that's because they worked so hard building their fortunes that a day off to them was laying around and watching TV because they were exhausted. And now that they're retired, they just think it's one long day off and they don't have a plan. And that's the number two reason why you need to be focusing on having some sort of a plan with your family, because aside from your health, that's the number two thing that's most important, to leave a legacy with family who remembers having good times with you, and you can fix a lot of the damage that you may have done by neglecting them throughout the years while you were building your fortune. The number three thing is your social life. I talked to so many people that they've worked for the same company for years. They went out to lunch every day with their working buddies, or they took clients out to lunch, and they had a great social life. They'd go play golf on the weekends with these guys. And then as soon as they retired, the one thing they noticed is all of a sudden everybody's too busy to meet with them, because you don't really serve a purpose to these people anymore. They weren't really your good friends. They were just people that you had mutual interests, to help each other out. And that's why they spent so much time with you. Now that you're out of the game, you have to make new friends. And that needs to be another really big focus that especially men have a really difficult time. And that's probably one of the number one complaints I hear from their wives is he doesn't even remember how to go make friends. He's really shy and he expects me to entertain him all the time. And I want to go have my own life. So number three, friends. Go make some friends. When I moved to a new community, my girlfriend and I, we went around door to door and left flyers on everyone's doorstep and hosted a big meet and greet for all the neighbors at the local golf club. And we were shocked that almost 100 people showed up to the meet and greet, and every one of them said, "Oh, I've been meaning to do something like this. This is great that you guys put this together. I've never met my neighbors, found out what their interests are. Or there are other people I can go hang out with and have a social life with." A lot of these people just pull in their garage and go inside and watch TV all night, and they don't really do anything else. So that's one thing that should be in your plan, is your social life. The number four thing to do is to focus on doing new things. Try things that you suck at, because neuroplasticity is a big issue as we get older. One of the big reasons for dementia and people's brains slowing down and being fogged all the time is because you may have been an expert at work and you have that comfort zone. When you stop working, now you're afraid to go try new things because you don't want to be the guy who sucks. You want to be the guy who's the man. And that's why you need to go, learn how to play golf, go learn a new language, try playing the guitar. There's a lot of different things that you can try out, and you're going to suck at them really bad because you haven't tried something new in a long time, because you got into your comfort zone of being the leader and the person that everybody looked up to. And you have to realize once you retire, no one cares what you used to do. You're all kind of back on an even playing field. And when you try something new, I go out and I play golf. I'm at like a 35 handicap. I'm horrible at it, but I'm trying. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to improve on. And that, golfing has been great for me because it's led to more of a social life with people that I play with. And there's a lot of other people like me out there that completely suck at golf. And even on a normal day, somebody who's a scratch golfer can have a similar score to me if they have an off day. So it's good to go out, try new things, build that neuroplasticity in your brain. Try, have you ever gone mountain biking before? They have e-bikes now. You don't have to be in that great a shape to even start doing it. You can get out and you're outdoors and enjoying life. And it's not really something that's going to give you a heart attack, hopefully, if you were focusing on number one, your health. So anyways, number four, go out and try things new, and don't be afraid to make a fool of yourself. Nobody really cares. You don't have to be the best. That's what's going to make you have new experiences that you're going to remember and more fulfillment in your life. That leads us to number five, your identity. As being a high-achieving executive or business owner, and everybody looked up to you, your employees kissed your ass because you were the man. You were the smartest guy in the room. Everybody went to you for answers. You solved problems all day long. And now you've retired and you've got nothing going on, and no one gives a shit that you used to be the man. So that's one of the biggest problems that people run into. When all of your positive reinforcement came in life from being a successful business person, and all of a sudden you're retired, you have all this free time, and now you don't have that identity of being a successful entrepreneur or whatever your title was. That's all gone. And you don't get that respect and admiration from that. And a lot of high achievers have a really big problem with this. Probably one of the biggest reasons why I see people go back to work or start a new company or something like that is because that's where all their positive reinforcement came from. And one thing that you have to really change your identity is that I'm retired and I'm having a great time. And I don't have time in my day for anything like work because I'm accomplishing all of these other things that are more important than work because I already have all the money I need. That's the new mindset you have to talk yourself into. Otherwise, you get depressed and you end up going back to get another job. And then instead of having a good time building a legacy with your family, getting better social connections, building unique memories with new things that you're doing every day, instead, you're going back and working more years. And can't tell you how many people in their 70s and 80s look back and go, God, I really should have quit. Like when I was 50 or 60 years old, I had the money to do it and I didn't do it because that was my identity. That's what I was just so good at it. And I felt like I had more years left. In reality, you don't. These are the best years of your life right now. And things just kind of go downhill after this. So focus on your identity and being okay with the fact that you're retired. That's great. That's something that you've earned and you worked hard your whole life and you have the money to do it. Go be retired and have a blast. And that leads us to your schedule. And a lot of people don't think about this, but when they retire, they think, oh, I don't need to have a schedule anymore. I'm just going to do whatever I want, whenever I want. And weeks, months, years go by and you realize, oh, I've been sitting on the computer watching YouTube all day and I haven't really accomplished anything yet. And I don't have a schedule booked up and I'm bored. Now I'm going to go back to work or whatever you choose to do. And the biggest thing when you look at your retirement and your last of your healthy years is you have to look at it like, they say you have about 1,000 weeks left if you're 60 years old until you either pass away or your quality of life goes downhill. So that's a finite amount of time. And do you want to look back on those 1,000 weeks of, oh, I got another job and I work part-time or something like that, or I filled my schedule with really fun things that brought my family and friends closer to me, and I feel like I really had a fulfilling, great life. If this resonates with you, don't ignore it. Take the free Vitality Audit in the description below. If you want to go deeper, go to thesummitplan.com and book a clarity call directly with me. Let's build your second summit.